Greetings. This is Pastor Mike of Abundant Life Christian Center, where we provide an exit from the average and an entrance into the abundant. Happy Saturday, everybody. Just wanted to take a moment to just share. I'm actually leaving the birthday celebration of an old coworker of mine, Brother William Selden. Happy birthday, shout out. Thoroughly enjoyed myself having breakfast with him and so many of his good friends and old classmates. And that's why I'm coming to you today. I was so blessed by the people that came to celebrate him. It just reminded me of the importance of relationship. There were people who had literally grown up with this man and really watched him grow through the ages. I was actually sitting next to a classmate of his. They went to high school together, and he was sharing stories with me of them growing up. And so again, it just did my heart well to just see how healthy and long-lasting these relationships were. And it reminded me of the importance of relationship. Whether we like to admit it or not, every aspect of life revolves around relationship. In fact, relationship is so important that it's the only thing God sends us into the earth with. You don't come into this earth with a bank account. You don't come into this earth with clothes. You don't come into this earth with a Maserati. You come into this earth with a relationship with a mother and a father. If you're blessed, some folks only come in with one, but regardless, the relationship is what's necessary to make sure you have everything that you need. A baby wants for nothing when they come into the earth because they have relationship. If the baby's hungry, mom and dad get them something to eat. If the baby poops on itself, mom and dad clean them up. Everything the baby needs is provided through relationship. That's how vital relationships are. And it does not stop there. As we grow and our needs change, we develop more relationships. For instance, as I grow and I need education, I have to enter into a relationship with the school or some sort of educational institution. As I need food, of course, and I'm providing for myself, I have to enter into a relationship with a grocer or a restaurant. Restaurants might be a little pricey, so you better learn how to make groceries, but regardless, you need a relationship. Clothing, I have to get in relationship with a clother. Dillard's, Macy's, K&G, wherever you like to shop, I have to establish a relationship. If I need a safe place to put my money, I have to establish a relationship with a bank. And so, again, every aspect of life requires relationship. Even intimacy. When I begin to desire intimacy, I have to establish a relationship in the form of marriage. Amen. That's the pastor answer. In the form of marriage, I get into a relationship with a young lady with the mindset or with the end goal being marriage. Vice versa, a young lady gets into a relationship with a man with the end goal being marriage for the sake of intimacy. And so every aspect of life requires a relationship, and even eternity. And this is really how important relationship is. You don't even get into heaven without a relationship. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes unto the Father but by me. And so even our access into heaven comes through relationship. And so every aspect of life requires relationship, which brings about the question, what's the quality of your relationships? Now, I know some of you, you swear that you are delivered from people and you don't need nobody. It's just you, yourself, and you. That's all you need. But on the contrary, even God desired a relationship. The Bible lets us know in Genesis, in the account of creation, that God spends 6 days creating the entire world, the heavens and the earth, and he looks on his work and he sees his power, he sees his majesty, he sees his glory, but the one thing he does not see is himself. And so God looks on the earth, does not see himself, and says, let us make man in our image after our likeness. And of course, he forms man of the dust of the ground and breathes into the nostrils of man the breath of life. And so even God desired relationship, and as we are the image and likeness of God in the earth, we too desire relationship, which is why God looks on man and he says, well, now I have something. This is the M. Goodman translation. I see something in the earth that I can relate to, and man can relate to something in heaven, but man has nothing on earth to relate to. And then of course God says it's not good that the man should be alone. Let us make a helper, a helpmeet for him. him. And of course, that's where we get Eve, and we men, we get our wives. And so life is about relationship. God desired relationship, and we in the image and likeness of God too require relationship. And relationships are necessary for life. In fact, relationships are so important. They make up the two greatest commandments, according to Jesus. When asked about the two greatest commandments, he says, love God with all your heart, mind, and everything. And the second is like unto it, love your neighbor as yourself. What is your relationship like with heaven? And what is your relationship like with your brothers and sisters? The Bible lets us know you can't say that you love a God whom you have not seen and hate your brother or sister who you have seen. Life is about relationship. And so how healthy are your relationships? Are you maintaining healthy, fruitful, and vibrant relationships? Your quality of life will be greatly improved by the quality of relationships that you cultivate. One of the saddest things to see is a funeral where there's no relationship, or the quality of relationship was so poor, no one has anything to say. The only way I want folks not to have anything to say at my funeral is if my life was just so phenomenal and our relationships were so phenomenal that my death just simply left them speechless. And even then, I pray they can think of something to say at my funeral. What is the quality of your relationships? Because the quality of your relationships are really going to reflect in the quality of the life that you live. How's your relationship with God? How's your relationship with your mother, your father? The Bible tells us to honor them. That's another one of those commandments. What's your relationship with with your parents? What's your relationship like with your friends? There is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Do you have that relationship with anybody? I bless God for my best friend B. That's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. I've known him since elementary school, and we're intentional, not perfect, but we're intentional about maintaining that relationship. What's your relationship like in your marriage? That's one thing my wife and I are committed to, making sure that we don't become a statistic. Both of us come from families where there either was no marriage, or the marriage was there was separation in the marriage. We don't want to end up that way. We want to be the branches on our trees that bear new fruit. And so what's the quality of your relationship? What's the quality of your relationship with your employer? Because the quality of your relationship with your employer may play into some promotions, may play into some movement and elevation within the company. Relationships matter. And so that's what I want to leave you with today. What is the quality and health of your relationships? And if they aren't where they should be, as believers, we believe in redemption. We believe in resurrection. So even a dead relationship can be resurrected. We believe in the power of resurrection. And so pray and ask God, this relationship is dead, but it's a relationship that's close to my heart. And God, if it's not a toxic relationship, Lord, I'm just going to believe you that you can resurrect this thing. Amen. Join us tomorrow morning at 11:30. We'll be at 613 Virginia Avenue in Portsmouth, Virginia. We welcome you to come experience life more abundantly. I'm Pastor Mike. I love you, and happy Saturday.